Living alone in later life is often portrayed as a peaceful and empowering experience. The freedom to live life on your own terms, without interruptions or obligations to others, can indeed be liberating. However, there's another side to this story that rarely gets discussed: the real experiences that only emerge when you're living it yourself. Drawing from the collective wisdom shared across various platforms and forums, I want to share these authentic insights about senior solo living. These aren't just individual experiences, but rather a tapestry of stories from those who have walked this path before. While it's not all challenging, it's important to understand both the joys and the realities of living alone as we age, and how to make the most of this unique life stage. A significant realization that comes with living alone in later life is the understanding that you become your own safety net. The absence of someone to notice if something goes wrong can be a genuine concern, as evidenced by stories of people experiencing delays in getting help during emergencies. While it might seem extreme to some, many solo dwellers have adopted practical safety measures, such as carrying their phones even during shower time. The installation of safety systems, whether a medical alert device or a smartwatch, becomes particularly crucial for those living in remote areas or far from immediate medical assistance. These precautions, though sometimes seeming excessive, provide essential peace of mind. Some have found creative solutions, like the woman who installed an emergency key box outside her home, allowing trusted contacts access in case of emergencies without the need for dramatic interventions. These thoughtful preparations enable many to maintain their independence while ensuring their safety. The experience of loneliness in later life can be surprising, even for those who cherish solitude. While living alone might seem like an introvert's paradise, the reality is more complex, particularly as we age. The natural shrinking of social circles through retirement, relocation, or loss of friends can create unexpected feelings of isolation. The challenge isn't just about being alone. It's about the absence of those casual daily interactions that once filled our lives. A poignant example comes from an elderly gentleman who described going days without speaking to another person. While he valued his independence, he deeply missed the simple pleasure of sharing everyday observations about the weather or current events with someone. Some have found creative solutions to this challenge, like the woman who found meaningful companionship in her pet cat, noting that its consistent presence made a significant difference in her daily life. These experiences remind us that human connection, even in small doses, remains essential regardless of our comfort with solitude. The challenge of home maintenance becomes increasingly apparent as one ages, yet it's rarely discussed in conversations about independent living. The shifting dynamics of energy and physical capability can transform once routine tasks into daunting challenges. What was once a simple afternoon of cleaning gutters, mowing the lawn, or vacuuming can become an exhausting endeavor. This reality was eloquently expressed by a homeowner who maintained a growing list of household projects, not from lack of care, but from the sheer overwhelm of tackling them alone. The solution often lies in accepting that seeking help isn't a surrender of independence, but rather a wise choice in maintaining one's quality of life. For many, the decision to downsize to a more manageable living space has proven liberating, reducing maintenance demands and creating more time and energy for meaningful activities. Daily routines take on profound significance when living alone in later years. Without the natural rhythm that comes from sharing space with others, personal habits evolve into anchors of stability and comfort. These aren't mere repetitive actions, but rather meaningful rituals that provide structure and purpose to each day. Consider the woman in her 70s who begins each morning with the same cherished song during breakfast, infusing her quiet home with energy and warmth. Or the gentleman who finds deep satisfaction in his evening garden watering ritual, understanding that its value extends far beyond plant care to provide his days with purpose and structure. These routines, far from being rigid constraints, become personal celebrations of independence. They transform ordinary moments into sources of joy and stability, offering a sense of control and predictability in solo living while making each day uniquely special. The art of cooking, for one, presents unique challenges and opportunities in solo living. While it might seem excessive to prepare full meals for oneself, and the convenience of frozen dinners or takeaway can be tempting, many have discovered that cooking becomes a meaningful form of self-expression and care. This transformation was beautifully illustrated by a forum participant who shared how learning to love cooking for herself changed her entire perspective on solo dining. The act of preparing meals evolves from a mere necessity into a form of self-nurturing, whether through weekend batch cooking, creating versatile meals that span several days, or exploring new recipes as a hobby. This approach to cooking transcends mere sustenance, becoming a declaration that you're worth the time and effort. Beyond the immediate pleasure of a home-cooked meal, it offers both health benefits and financial wisdom, proving that cooking for one can be a rewarding expression of self-care rather than a solitary chore. The presence of silence in a solitary home often carries an unexpected weight, particularly for those transitioning from bustling households or active careers. Its impact can be surprisingly profound, creating a complex relationship that many find themselves unprepared to navigate. Some individuals discover creative ways to manage this newfound quiet, like the woman who finds comfort in the gentle background hum of radio during her household tasks, or the gentleman who fills his days with podcasts and audiobooks, creating a sense of companionship through voices and stories. Yet silence can also reveal itself as an unexpected gift, especially for those who have spent their lives surrounded by constant activity. In these quiet moments, many find a precious opportunity for reflection, contemplation, and inner peace, transforming what might initially feel like emptiness into a space for personal growth and rejuvenation. Physical activity requires mindful attention when living alone in later years, as the natural prompts for movement that come from sharing a household gradually disappear. The absence of a partner or housemate can unconsciously lead to a more sedentary lifestyle, a change that many solo dwellers only notice after their physical fitness begins to decline. Yet maintaining an active lifestyle becomes a matter of personal choice and creativity rather than obligation. The key lies in finding ways to weave movement naturally into daily life, whether through morning stretches, scheduled walks, or participation in community fitness classes. Some find motivation through creative solutions, like the woman who adopted a dog specifically to ensure regular walks became part of her routine. The beauty of self-directed physical activity lies in its flexibility. It might mean tending to a garden, dancing freely in the living room, or simply choosing stairs over elevators. These seemingly small choices, when made consistently, can significantly impact overall well-being and maintain vital physical independence. The perception of time undergoes a subtle but significant transformation when living alone. Without the natural rhythms created by sharing space with others, the familiar markers of days and weeks can begin to blur. This shift becomes particularly noticeable after major life changes, as experienced by a gentleman who found himself adrift in time following retirement and the loss of his spouse. The absence of external schedules, a partner's work routine, children's activities, or shared meal times, can leave one feeling untethered from traditional time structures. Yet within this challenge lies an opportunity to create personal rhythms that better suit an independent lifestyle. Many find comfort in establishing flexible routines, naturally flowing between daily activities, weekly commitments, and cherished hobbies. Whether it's a standing appointment for grocery shopping, a regular afternoon of gardening, or a special Sunday dinner ritual, these self-chosen patterns help maintain a healthy relationship with time while preserving the freedom to savor life's unhurried moments. The process of decluttering takes on complex dimensions when living alone in later years. While the absence of others simplifies decision-making about what to keep or discard, the emotional weight of sorting through personal possessions intensifies. Each item in a solo dweller's home becomes more than just an object. It transforms into a keeper of memories, a tangible link to past experiences and relationships. This emotional connection was eloquently expressed by an elderly woman who found herself preserving items purely for their sentimental value, despite their practical redundancy. She grappled with the delicate balance between honoring memories and preventing her collection from becoming a future burden for others. The challenge lies not just in the physical act of sorting and disposing, but in the emotional journey of letting go. Yet many discover that thoughtful decluttering, while sometimes bittersweet, can lead to a liberating sense of simplicity and purpose in their living space. The gradual shift in social dynamics represents one of the more subtle challenges of aging alone. The natural evolution of friends and family members' lives, career changes, relocations, growing families, often leads to a gradual decrease in social invitations and gatherings. This transition isn't a reflection of diminished care from others, but rather a natural drift in life circumstances that many solo dwellers experience. The key insight, as shared by one woman's enlightening experience, lies in the shift from passive waiting to active engagement in creating social connections. The beauty of initiating social activities lies in the freedom to shape them according to personal interests and comfort levels. This was wonderfully demonstrated by a gentleman in his 60s who founded a neighborhood walking group, combining his love for nature with social interaction through weekly trail explorations. The possibilities for creating meaningful social connections are as varied as individual interests, from hosting intimate coffee gatherings and book discussions to organizing movie nights or craft sessions. This proactive approach to socializing not only enriches one's own life, but often inspires others to participate and reciprocate, creating a sustainable cycle of social engagement. The practice of self-care takes on heightened significance when living alone, though it can be surprisingly easy to neglect. Without external observers to notice daily habits, some find themselves sliding into patterns of reduced self-attention, wearing the same clothes for days, skipping proper meals, or neglecting basic routines. This tendency often stems from the quietly persistent question, "Who am I doing this for?" The answer, as many solo dwellers eventually discover, becomes a powerful affirmation of self-worth. One gentleman's journey particularly illustrates this evolution. After years of living alone and letting personal care slip, he reached the profound realization that he deserved the same level of attention he would gladly offer others. Self-care encompasses far more than physical maintenance. It extends to nurturing mental and emotional well-being through regular medical checkups, adequate rest, and engaging in activities that bring joy and satisfaction. A touching example comes from a woman who created an evening ritual of candlelight, facial care, and reading, a simple yet meaningful way of honoring herself. These acts of self-nurturing, from getting properly dressed each morning to preparing enjoyable meals, become powerful declarations of self-respect and personal worth. Living alone need not mean living without care. Rather, it presents an opportunity to become both the caregiver and recipient of thoughtful, consistent attention. The journey of living alone in later years presents both unique challenges and profound opportunities for personal growth and fulfillment. While independence offers the precious freedom to shape life according to personal preferences, it's essential to remember that seeking support and preparing for uncertainties are signs of wisdom rather than weakness. The path of solo living becomes richer when we recognize that independence and interconnection can coexist harmoniously. Whether finding joy in the company of a pet, the nurturing of a garden, or the comfort of favorite books, each person discovers their own sources of contentment and purpose. During challenging moments, it's comforting to remember that countless others share similar experiences, creating an invisible but resilient community of senior solo dwellers. This shared journey, with its complexities and rewards, reminds us that while we may live alone, We need never be truly solitary in our experience of aging independently.